Welcome to my first speed drawing. Now, I want to apologize for the quality of this right off the bat and say I'm sorry for the poor lighting. The reason it changes so much is because my hand kept going over in front of my desk lamp that was nearby, so I'm sorry for that. Anyways, I love the character of the host, and I wasn't going to originally draw this at all. I was just doodling one night and decided to draw him like I usually do, and I wasn't even going to record this as a speed drawing at all. But earlier in the day, I had been watching a bunch of art videos, especially some from some of my favorite artists like Casey Golden, and in particular Draw with Waffles, and their speed drawings and speed paints, whatever. So I figured, why not do my own? Originally, my idea for a speed drawing was actually going to be a screen recording on my iPad, but here we are. While I'm not a fan of my art style, I will say this is probably the best that the host has looked in all the times that I've drawn him. I draw other characters too, obviously, and in particular a lot of Mark's characters, or egos as people like to call them. Like, in particular, Wilfred Warfstache. I apologize, I'm starting over my words. But anyways, so this drawing was going to be full color, but none of my skin tone markers, and nothing like Copic or Faber-Castell didn't work. So I figured I'll just do some terrible shading to get across the fact that this is grayscale. So I apologize right off the bat as well for my terrible shading. I'm not good. It's funny, in the corner where all my markers are set up, there is a Sharpie paint pen that I was going to use for highlights, but I never actually end up using it. In hindsight, I could have used it for his hair or highlights in his jacket to give it more definition, something like that, but it completely slipped my mind until just now. So there is one marker that goes totally unused, just sitting there. It's kind of funny though, I tried to make it set up all look nice and everything, but then I slowly start pushing the markers away as I keep drawing, just because I constantly turn my notebooks and sketchbooks when I draw in color. I don't know if anyone else does that, but it's a habit of mine. Even when I'm drawing on digital, I'll constantly turn the canvas around here and there, just because it's easier to do something, or to like do line art or something. While this is a grayscale kind of color palette, the only bit of color will be his hair highlight and the ribbons that are like all artistically flowing around him, because I thought it would look fancy and it's also cool. There's more of my terrible shading. While I'm not the greatest at shading, I think it still gets the point across, but it's definitely something I need to work on. But you could consider this practicing it, I guess. It might also be spoilers for the end of the video, but I was also going to color the background, but again, decided against it, and I am very glad that I didn't do that. I feel like it would have looked ridiculous. And now here is the bright red ribbons. I was going to color over them with like a magenta marker to make them more dark blood color or whatever, but again, didn't do that, and I'm glad I didn't. The funny thing is, my initial idea was that, oh, the red ribbons can symbolize blood around him, because, whenever you see the host, he has blood on his face and stuff, and his bandages, which I was going to add, but again, also didn't do that. I have my own little too much gene, and I have ruined far too many pictures by trying to add too many things to make it look more fancy or more realistic or what have you. So even though I keep repeating myself, trust me, it's for the best that I didn't add this or add that, or what have you. Also, does anyone else do this when you're drawing or coloring with something, that you put a piece of scrap paper underneath your own paper that you're working on? I've learned to do that over many mistakes of messing up. Oh, and here's the glitter pen. I forgot all about that. I was going to add more glitter, and I'm glad that I didn't, but what I was going to add it on was actually the ribbons that were going around, but there was just too many big spaces, so glad that I didn't do that. And here I am, being forgetful as always, forgetting to color the other bit of ribbon. I don't know if it's hard to see, but I'm frantically trying to color it like shit, I forgot. I'm actually very proud of how this piece came out. And here I am grabbing something to do my signature. I don't have my own personalized signature, so I just do this. But I like it, and I hope everyone enjoyed this video and this picture.